Hey, what do you know about emotional behavioral disorders?
There are many ways to describe it. The IDEA 2004 defines an emotional disturbance as a condition that is present over a long period of time that affects educational performance.
Like what?
Like impairment in learning, not having interpersonal relationships with teachers or students, inappropriate behaviors and feelings, unhappiness, or physical symptoms. But others say that emotional behavioral conditions are more than a stressful response, is consistent in two different settings, and does not respond to interventions.
How does the educational system classify emotional and behavioral problems?
There are two ways to think about it. Internalizing disorders: this is when the individual is disturbed. Externalizing is when the behaviors are disturbing to others.
Okay. I am starting to understand. For example, conduct disorder, which includes physical aggression, anger, not following the rules, and being oppositional.
That's right. The educational classification also includes socialized aggression. That includes behaviors like stealing, being late to school, and lying. Other dimensions include attention problems. This is when there is a short attention span, problems concentrating, and being distracted.
This also includes anxiety or withdrawal. This is when there is anxiety or fear of failure, poor self-esteem, and hypersensitivity to criticism.
That is right. Psychotic behaviors are included in these dimensions and include speech disturbances, delusions, and impaired reality testing. The educational classification also includes motor tension excess. This includes behaviors such as being overactive and restless.
What causes emotional behavioral disorders?
Environmental factors and family factors are important factors. If there is parental discord, inconsistent or extreme punishment, or the lack of emotional support, school factors, such as a teacher expectations and community factors, are also tied to the development of emotional behavioral disorders.
Are there genetic factors?
There is some research that supports that. However, most professionals agree that it is a combination of environment and genetics.
What are some of the behaviors that male students demonstrate if they are considered emotionally or behaviorally disturbed?
Some problem behaviors include showing off, bragging, teasing, destroys own things, cruel to others, threatens others, temper tantrums. The male EBD student shows disobedience in school, inability to concentrate, impulsive, and hangs out with children in trouble.
What about a female student with emotional behavioral disorder? What would her behavior look like?
The female with EBD would present as moody, biting fingernails, overweight, easily jealous, shy and timid. Have nightmares and fears. She may also demonstrate thumb-sucking, be too dependent, run away from home, have headaches, skin problems, and be self-conscious.
Do these behaviors change over time?
There is an increase in whining, bedwetting, dependence, demanding attention, cries a lot, excessive fears, nightmares, picking, and speech problems. There is also a decrease in talking too much, destroying own things, and showing off. These behaviors decrease with age, but there are some behaviors that increase with age. For example, the use of alcohol and drugs, truancy, poor schoolwork, secrets, and swearing.
How does the school figure out which students have emotional behavioral disorders?
It takes the efforts of a team. Professionals from a variety of disciplines can be involved. Decisions need to be made using a variety of information.
Do you mean like direct observation? The observational model can provide objective information, however, does involve subjective decision-making.
You are right. That is why observational data needs to be collected from a target student and a control student, recording the observational data from both students. Behavioral rating scales also provide a degree of a certain behavior. The scales are designed to be used by general or special education teachers.
There are also advantages of behavior assessment systems, which also includes student, parent, and peer rating scales. It also has an interview component.
Good point. Personality inventories and projective tests are also used. However, those assessments require a psychological component.
Once a student is determined to be EBD, what is next for the classroom and the teacher? How does the educational system help the student?
There is a relationship between academic underachievement and emotional and behavioral disorders. Thus, the curriculum is important. However, instructional intervention must be sustained, flexible, positive, and collaborative, culturally appropriate, and continually monitored.
Social skills training is also important. Social skills are taught through sequencing and generalization. Commonly used programs are skills streaming.
That's right. Other programs are service learning programs that engage the student in community service activities.
Transitional planning is another instructional area and requires thoughtful planning to create a program that is relevant and meaningful.
That's right. And there are also considerations to vocational and life skills training.
Beyond the programs, what can the educational system do to assist the student?
The type of teaching will depend on the needs of the student and the behavior. Since there is a wide range of possible behaviors, there are many ways to address the student. The sooner that a student can be identified as having EBD, the sooner the school can respond to the student and create an individualized intervention plan.
So a teacher needs to be direct, clear, give time to comply, praise, restate requests if needed, and make follow-up requests.
Yes, that would be an example of the universal intervention model. However, these students may require direction and intervention that is more specific, for example, cognitive behavioral intervention. This model allows the student to self-instruct, self-monitor and regulate behaviors.
Oh, I get it. So that the student can learn to be an independent learner and problem solver. This will also help with feeling regulation.
Another tool is the functional behavioral assessment. This allows the educator to focus on one behavior and develop a positive intervention plan.
This would allow the educator and the team set up rules and clear expectations for the student. The plan contains intervention and assessment methods.
As part of that plan, systems for positive and negative reinforcement will also be addressed to help the student and the teacher increase positive behaviors.
How will all this help the student?
In combination, the programs have a specific curriculum, social skills, rule setting and accountability to designate what behaviors will be accepted at school and which will not. But most important, the educator must treat the student with respect, accurately identify the students with challenges and create individualized plans to support the student.
Having conversations like this one helps to better understand the behaviors of the emotional behavioral student and how to approach them.
You said it. Every student is different and has their own positive attributes that can be used to increase motivation for positive behavior.